Hi everybody, today we're going to do lesson 8-7, and that is going to be solving quadratics again. I'm going to shorthand this, quad equations by square rooting. Okay, so let's start with something we did last time, okay? We did this last lesson, but there's a lot of different ways this can present itself. So I want to give you a couple of different ways. So it's 2x squared is the first problem, minus 11 equals 39. All right, we're going to add 11 to both sides. And we get 50 equals 2x squared. Divide by 2, divide by 2. X squared equals 25. Okay, so to undo the square on the x, we take the square root. What we do to one side, we do to the other. That means the square root of x squared, well, those two cancel each other out, and you just have the x that comes out. Now remember, the square root of 25 is positive or negative 5. We did that last time. Reason being, if you substitute a positive 5 into the original equation, it will work. If you substitute a negative 5 into the original equation, it still will work. Okay? So that is our answer. X equals positive or negative 5. All right. Number 2. 3x squared minus 50 equals 550. All right, we're going to isolate x squared again. So we're going to add 50 to both sides. Whoops, that's a 50. Okay, and we're going to get rid of the negative 50 and 50. We're going to bring down 3x squared equals 600. Okay, we're going to divide by 3 on both sides, and x squared equals 200. Now, we have to take the square root of both sides. Square root, square root. Well, the square root of an x squared is x. Square and root cancel each other out, so you get an x here. The 200 you have to break down, okay? So I'm just going to go to the side and break this down. Let's see, 2 times 100. Oh, 10 times 10. Now stop right there. You have pairs. Don't keep going. Don't do 2 times 5 and 2 times 5, okay? Because you're just going to end up with the 10 anyway on the outside. So this is going to be equals 10. Whoops. Rad 2. That comes from there. But don't forget, I'm going to write this in a different color. It's plus or minus 10 rad 2. I'm just going to rewrite that. Okay, it's plus or minus. Even when you have to break down the radical, you have to remember that plus or minus. All right, I'm going to do another one which looks different, but it's basically the same thing. So the next one is 3x minus 3 squared, so in parentheses, equals 4. All right, so what happens here, we have to take the square root of both sides. All right, we have to take the square root of whatever's being squared. X minus 3 is being squared, so you have to do the whole side. What you do to the left, you do to the right. Okay, the squared and the square root cancel each other out, and you bring down x minus 3. Equals, well, the square root of 4 is plus or minus 2. Okay? Now this is where it gets a little different. We're going to add 3 to both sides. But do you see how we have two problems here? We have a positive 2. I'm sorry, two answers here. We have a positive 2 and we have a negative 2. We have to come up with two answers then. So x equals, well, if I do positive 2 plus 3, I get a 5. All right, now, I also have a negative 2 here. So I have to do negative 2 plus 3, which is a 1. So your answers or your solutions are x equals 5 and x equals 1. Okay, if you substituted either one of those into the original equation, you would get a 4 on the right side. It would all check. Okay, you can check me if you want. I just don't want to spend too much time checking things on the videos. All right, one more. This one's just going to be a little different from the one before. And this is equals 12. So x minus 5 squared equals 12. All right, so we're going to take the square root on both sides. Okay, what we do to the left, we do to the right. Now, what comes down is x minus 5, because the square and the square root cancel each other out. Now look at the right side though. That is not a perfect square. We have to break it down. So it's 12. We do 2 times 6, 2 times 3, pair of 2's, and then a single 3. But don't forget, you need your plus or minus. So now this is the way this one works. I'm going to change to blue so you can see this. We're going to add 5 to both sides. Okay, so that negative 5 plus 5 cancels out. Bring down the x equals, well, this is 5. I'm going to put the 5 in front. I'm going to try to put the 5 in front. And then it's 5 plus or minus 2 rad 3. Okay? And that's how you do that one. We'll get more practice on that when we're doing another lesson. So if you're a little worried about that, don't worry about it. Don't worry. Be happy. All right. I'm going to give you 4 problems to do on your own, and then you are done. All right. So hit pause, copy the questions down, and hit play again when you're done, and the answers will come up. Okay, everybody, here are the answers. There's something that I failed to mention when I was teaching this. So when you look at number 4 here, this 7 plus or minus 3 rad 2, you can't combine them. Think of it as if it said 3x instead of 3 rad 2. You couldn't combine because they wouldn't be like terms. Well, it works the same way with radicals. You can't combine something with a radical with something without a radical. It has to be like radicals. Therefore, we leave it 7 plus or minus 3 rad 2. All right, that's it. Have a good day.